Hi, I'm Nathan from Shockwave Woodworks, and I'm here to help give you 6 tips to add value to your cutting board clients, plus a bonus pro tip at the end, so stick around. Let's go. The first tip is obvious: craftsmanship. You need to make sure that you focus on quality materials, quality processes, don't cut any corners, make sure that those cutting boards are the best that you can produce out of your shop. The reason this is important because cutting boards are a relatively simple project. Many woodworkers are starting out using cutting boards as those initial projects to get them going, so the competition is pretty steep. So for you to stand out, you have to add value to your clients. They have to see why the benefit of going with you versus somebody else. So making sure that that quality craftsmanship is there from day one is going to ensure that your clients have a very high expectation for the quality of the products that you'll be able to provide, standing you above the rest of the competition in your area. Quality materials such as domestic hardwoods of walnut and maple are some go-to materials for all the cutting boards that I make. Not only do they look great when they're finished, they're relatively economical as far as hardwoods go compared to the more exotic hardwoods that you can find at a hardwood dealer. They're going to be much more durable as a dense hardwood compared to soft woods that you would find in the bid box stores. That's going to lead to a quality product that's durable. It's going to provide a quality experience for your client. Highly recommend domestic hardwoods as a great starting point for quality materials, followed up with that quality craftsmanship. Now, tip number 2 is to add personalization. There's 2 primary ways you can do this. One is with a CNC engraver. I have a Inventables X-Carve that I use for my cutting boards and other projects, and it works great for adding that personal touch. But it's important if you're using a CNC engraver that actually removes material from the cutting board to do this not into the center of the board, but off to a corner, off to the side, so that you have more usable area without those grooves cut into the cutting board surface for food or other debris to get into. It's a great solution and a great tool to have in the shop. The other option is a laser engraver. There's 2 different types of laser engravers that you typically see in woodworking. One is the more economical, typically smaller diode lasers. Those are lower power, they move a little bit slower, but are much cheaper. And then on the higher end, you have the CO2 lasers, which have higher power. Now those are nice to have, but you can do most of the things, especially for cutting boards, using just a diode laser. I'll put the link down in the description for a very popular diode laser that a lot of woodworkers are using nowadays. It has great results and is very similar to the diode laser that I have in my shop. Now this laser engraver has paid for itself multiple times over to engrave hundreds of cutting boards. Highly recommend adding some sort of customization to your board lineup. That's going to give you the step up on the competition. Now tip number 3 to add value to your cutting board clients is to include a small business card or other instructions for the cutting board care. There's no questions about what you should and should not be doing with your cutting board to make sure that it lasts a lifetime. I like to print out these nice cutting board cards. These are business cards in a heavy stock because on the front it has a nicely formatted cutting board care instructions. On the back it has all my contact information, website, social media accounts, especially if this was a client gift given by a realtor or other real estate professional as a closing gift. This is one of the few touch points that I could have directly with that end user to make sure that they know where the cutting board came from, they know how to reach me and contact me for follow-up work. Tip number 4 to add value to your cutting board clients is to add non-slip feet. These are relatively economical. You can get them in bulk packaging at eBay or other sources. They come in a variety of colors and sizes. They typically come with stainless steel hardware, so you don't have to worry about rust on your cutting boards as they're being washed and used. And this also provides safe operation and protects the client's countertops from getting scratched or scuffed with the use of the cutting board. All of this adds just that little extra touch to add some additional value without costing much money or time, and it gives you a little bit of a step up above the competition. Tip number 5 to add value to your cutting board clients, the packaging. A lot of times for cutting boards, you'll see the typical packaging being string with a card or tag attached to it. That's great and it looks good, but what I like to do personally is utilize heat shrink bags. I can wrap the cutting boards in this heat shrink bag, seal it up with the cutting board care card instructions inside of it. This keeps it all contained in a package. It looks professional and it's very simple and cost effective to add. Tip number 6, add a free can of board conditioner along with each cutting board. These are relatively inexpensive. You can get most of these items on Amazon, link in the description below. This provides that extra value to the client. Not only can they use that for the cutting board that they got, they can also use it for any other cutting boards that they have or wood utensils that they already have in their kitchen. Additionally, it's branded. It could be branded for you as the woodworker side business, or if you're selling this to a business to distribute to their clients, could be branded to their business, which is also also a great value. The cutting board conditioner that I like to use is just a mixture of beeswax and mineral oil. I mix it in a crock pot, pour it into the tins, slap a sticker on it, it's good to go. Doesn't take very long to do, doesn't cost very much, but adds that little extra touch that really sets it apart from the competition. All right, pro tip bonus here at the end, include registration cards in that heat shrink packaging. Not only does this allow you to add additional value by maintaining a direct contact with the end user of this cutting boards, which is especially important if your client is a business that's using these cutting boards as closing gifts or client gifts for others. You don't typically have access or know who is going to be receiving those cutting boards at the end, but including that registration card with some value added bonuses like free board conditioner for life or discounts on other furniture or other products allows the customers to follow a link to your website, fill out a form, and then capture their direct contact information so you can start to interface with them directly. This is a great way to grow your business, to grow your client base in a logical way without having to do cold marketing, because they have a brand new high quality cutting board in their hand that's personalized, that has cutting board feet and excellent packaging, branded, and looks great. Then they have an incentive to go ahead and register that cutting board on your website, and they'll be positively inclined to look at other offerings you have, whether that be additional cutting boards, even large custom furniture pieces, once they get that quality craftsmanship in their hand.